Hey folks, this video is going to be different from my usual content. Hurricane Ian came through my neighborhood and made a big mess. So projects like the basket case BMW and the Prius experiment are put on hold until the hurricane damage is dealt with. Also, money that I was planning to spend on those projects is now being used for repairs. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. The house is fine, and all the vehicles are fine. But there was severe flooding in the backyard, and my workshop is in the back corner of the property. When I went back there to check on things, I could see the watermarks. The water was over a foot deep in this area. There was also lots of debris that fell out of the trees, and something started floating away in the floodwater. For example, these two wheels were originally underneath the car. They probably would have floated away if the fence wasn't there. When I looked inside the work shed, it was a disaster. Granted, it wasn't exactly neat and tidy to begin with, but it looked like everything was picked up, shuffled around, and randomly dropped back on the floor. That's probably because of the flooding. I'm using a flashlight because I cut the power to the work shed, just to be safe. A bunch of my tools were underwater when the building flooded. Some of them are probably ruined. I brought them outside to dry them out and see what is still usable. I'll let them dry overnight and check on them tomorrow. Ironically, the BMW was saved because it was on jack stands. You can see where the floodwater just barely touched the bottom of the car. Here you can see the line across the bottom where the water level was. If the car hadn't been on jack stands, it would have been filled with water. So I got lucky with that. The next day, I checked my power tools to see which ones still work. Most of the AC-powered tools are okay. But I couldn't test any of the cordless tools because all the batteries are ruined, so I'm assuming the tools are ruined as well. Also, the reciprocating saw was acting a little funny. Maybe it still needs to dry out some more. I haven't had a chance to check the welder yet, so I'm not sure about that. Also, I had some bins with spare parts and a bunch of nuts and bolts. All those bins were full of water, so a lot of that stuff is probably ruined. But with that said, it looks like I caught a lucky break. I checked the Home Depot website and they have a toolkit on sale that can replace all these tools that I think are bad. So I'm gonna buy that. I feel for my one neighbor because they had it even worse. There's a creek that runs alongside their property, and the creek overflowed and filled up their entire yard and part of their driveway. They're not in the house right now, thankfully. They evacuated before the storm. Anyway, I have a lot of cleanup and damage control to do, so there might not be any project videos for a while. Also, the microphone that I used to record voiceovers was in the work shed and it was ruined in the flooding. So I'm recording this voiceover with my cell phone. Sorry about that. But I have a new microphone on the way. One last comment. I'm not gonna beg for money or free stuff. There are a lot of other people who have it a lot worse than I do, so I'm not gonna play the victim. But if you want to help out, you can watch more of my videos and ask your friends to watch them as well. More videos means more ad money, and that will help cover the cost to fix the hurricane damage. Thanks in advance to anyone who helps out. And I'll see you in the next video.